Why are you dressed as a prisoner?
I can't comment on ongoing matters. Um,
Orange is the new black. Have you become a big fan of it?
well, mate, after certain incidents that will be nameless that were brought up in the group
Oh,
chat.
right. Okay, I see. Right. Now
Very
I
There we
good.
go. He's caught on.
Very good indeed.
All that time and effort I put into it has finally
I
been
thought it
worth
was
it.
a dress rehearsal for Taylor Swift or something, and there was a song about being a
Oh,
prisoner.
do you know what? I'm done with it. I'm going back to what I know.
Fair enough.
I thought we weren't going to address your criminal situation.
What criminal situation, Stephen?
No, exactly.
Poppy actually said to me, "How's the old lady doing?" And I'm like, "It's escalated this story."
What old lady?
Yeah, it's just grown and grown, isn't it? It's
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
yeah.
You got like a outside, is it an outside shed office?
This is
There
the
now?
insolvency shed. Yeah, so it is essentially a plastic garden shed which I've turned into an office. Um, and it does the job. It's 5 foot by 6. It's both doors are open today because it's been scorching for once. And yeah, no, it's like got everything I need in here. Yeah, got a
Nice.
desk and two screens and a whiteboard and Euros wall chart up there and yeah, a light, nice light, which I
Hmm.
don't think I need.
Happy
Really.
days.
Do I need? No, I don't
No,
know.
not really.
Are you all
No,
right
I don't
about
think so. Just glare off my head. Yeah.
it? I'd turn it off if you can, mate, because anything that can and will be recorded by Stephen for clips will be used.
I see.
It'll
Yeah.
go on YouTube.
I wonder.
I
You can see
noticed.
it
I noticed as
actually.
soon as I went on camera, he hit record.
Oh,
Yeah. No, the last I did actually put the last one on YouTube as well. Like
yeah, nice.
the full thing. Um,
Um,
because it just records the video anyway, so might as well.
you were in your playoff final, Oxford United
Yeah,
purchase.
this was last season's away kit, the Bournemouth short knockoff shirt.
I quite like
Um,
that. I quite like that.
Uh, well, I'm in what I've now deemed my lucky shirt because it has seen me through two England final losses in the Euros.
oof.
So,
Did you get that when we went to Athens? Was that one before that?
no, I didn't. I think I got it in Sports Direct.
Oh, well, yeah, because you were if you went to the yeah that I
Would have
think
been
the
after we
last
got
year it
banned.
predated your trip to Athens, didn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a nice shirt.
Looks a bit like that Finland one. It was like white. It's just like a blue stripe instead of that
They call it
diagonal.
what they call it a hash, a sash, a sash,
Sash, yeah, yeah.
sash.
I do feel like I've just won prom king or something when I wear it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Metallica for you, Matt.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. No lucky story attached to it. It's just a Metallica shirt. So yeah, that's it really.
Have you seen Metallica before?
One, two. 4 times. 4 times. Well, five actually, because I think it should be five because they did two consecutive nights at a festival. So I think that's 5 times. Four venues, 5 times.
Hmm.
Um, so that tour, they did a 2 night tour around the world, and they just happened to do consecutive nights at Download. And if you went to see them in their own right, you'd have to buy tickets for each night. So and you could either buy both or choose where you want to go. So yeah, so I'm going 5 times. But jury's out if that counts. I think it does. But yeah,
Better or worse than Avril Lavigne?
Different.
look what turned up today.
Choosing between your children.
Oh, that is an unbelievable pop figure for
I
you.
know. I had to get it. Yeah, yeah,
It's got the
yeah.
let go background as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's they do pop albums. I think Stacey's got what's it called? Black Parade, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do a few like kind of iconic albums with pop figures in the front of their album cover. So yeah, that's Avril turned up today, literally about 2 hours ago. So there we go. Was it better or worse than Avril? A different vibe. Very good. Yeah, very good. Um, yeah,
I don't have any
different.
puns for you, I'm afraid.
Well, for
Not not
Avril,
well, or
It's
Metallica.
episode
I
two, and you dropped your
I'd
game
say
already.
Didn't know you'd be wearing that.
I'd say the question is complicated.
Oh no. I envy Dan, who can't make this call at the moment, apparently.
So Dan, who works from home all day, reporting using Wi-Fi when he
uploading
suddenly
Tobin's
needs.
Instagrams.
But yeah, yeah.
I reckon we crack on without him, and he'll join when he can, I presume.
Yeah, he doesn't add much anyway, does he? So
Do we think the reason that Dan is late is because Jude Bellingham
there's a
responded?
cat. There's a cat behind you, Matt, that just
That's,
wandered.
it is whiskey. It's a good spot. Yeah. Do you think Jude Bellingham responded to the Instagram tag by Tobin's? Do you think that's why he's late?
Say it's quite low on the PR agenda for Jude.
I mean, this is just another reason why I don't follow his cat's Instagram account, and I'm more grateful for it. Explain to me how it tagged Jude Bellingham.
I think he or Fran, whoever does the stories or the posts. I'm not down with
I'm led
Instagram
to
that
believe
well.
that the posts are done by the cat itself, Matt.
Right. Okay. So Toe Beans was getting ready for Sunday's final and was feeling patriotic. So tagged, I think, official England and official Jude Bellingham in a post next to a picture of a St George's cross, I believe. I think that's how it went down. But yeah, I'd like to think that Jude got back to the dressing room after kicking a cool box and flicked on his phone, and that might have chilled him out a bit.
I really hope we come on to kicking the cool box.
Oh yeah,
at some
forgot
point.
about that.
I've just seen, Steve. I'm sure you will have as well, that Dan has cried off sick.
Yeah, well,
Interesting to note that both of the so-called diehard England fans have not made an appearance for the episode.
He's bottled it. He has bottled it. Wow.
well, he can.
That's
I'm sure he can try again in like 15 minutes or something. But
when his internet's cooled down a bit.
I don't know.
Did he say that?
Can he hotspot or something? He's messaging us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. Obviously, problems in Brighton. Yeah. There we go.
We'll make a start.
This is why, for when he's next here, this is why he's not on the cover of this.
Well, exactly.
Well, yeah, you need
We
a
knew this
stable
was gonna
Wi-Fi.
happen.
I think you need a stable Wi-Fi connection to get immortalized in cartoon form.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
All right. Let's kick it off then. So I'll do a little intro. So hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Unused Substitutes podcast with me, Stephen Wright. Todd Whedon, how are you doing?
Yeah, mate, I'm in dramatically high spirits after the Euros is finished, let's say, shall we?
I'm sure you are. We were supposed to be joined by Dan Davis, but his Wi-Fi has let him down. It's carked it, so he's not making an appearance. But we are thrilled nonetheless to be joined by the infamous Poole Town kitman, Matt Reeds. How's it going, Matt?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I likewise. I'm in high spirits, probably for different reasons, but yeah, kind of had an entertaining pre-season friendly last night, and yeah, all is well in the world.
So is it 2 games you've had now for Poole Town in pre-season?
Four games.
4 games.
Interestingly, 100% record at Shaftesbury, which is bizarre. So there we go. And who else have we? Yes, we played Bashley at Hythe and Dibden. Long story short, we played there Friday night instead of Bashley against Bashley. And that was a terrible night at the office. And the first home game against Dorking, which went as you'd expect, which was the day you came to visit, actually. So
yeah. So in terms of from the perspective of a kitman so far, I've seen you've had the socks hanging out in the garden.
They are still drying, actually. They're over my shoulder here. They're drying, ready for Friday's trip to Brockenhurst. And yeah, I think the most exciting thing to come is that is to happen is the new kit, which hasn't arrived yet, but hopefully it will be with us soon. It is a nice new kit, I have to say. The players like it and the staff like it, and I'm pretty confident the fans will like it. It's I think like there's only so much you can sometimes do with certain colours. We've seen it with like Bournemouth shirts over the years, like what you're wearing, like the Oxford shirt, and I think Poole have obviously it is red and white still, but it's quite nice what O'Neill's have done with it. So I'm excited, and hopefully the fans will enjoy it.
Do you know if the club has much of like a say with O'Neill's on what it's going to look like, or is it all just
Um,
their
Actually, they
decision?
were really good. So, we had an idea of what we wanted it to look like, and O'Neill's have been, I think, the manufacturer for, I think this is their second season. We kind of said to them, can we have something like this? And then they got to the drawing board and gave us some ideas. Now, I don't know. I don't think it was bespoke. I could be speaking out of turn here, but I don't think it was bespoke for us. But they probably said this is what other kind of clubs have. And actually, we had a look on O'Neill's website because they do make a lot of because they're an Irish firm, so they do a lot of rugby, a lot of Gaelic sports, and a lot of the Irish teams. And we're looking on there at kind of ideas and stuff. So I think they probably had some templates, and the one that they kind of gave us the proof of was quite exciting and got, well, certainly everyone everyone fell in love with it. So hopefully, yeah, it will get the response we want.
Can we just confirm that O'Neill's the kit manufacturer and O'Neill's the Irish pub chain are not one of the same?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. No, I think yeah, they one is an Irish themed bar, isn't it? And one is an Irish kit manufacturer. So yes, I think they are separate, but you never know. You never know. So
It's a shame because I was going to point out that I used to do a few gigs at the I think a covers band at O'Neill's, and I'm sure Todd has supported them financially over the years as well. But
I
yeah,
mean, my vivid memory of O'Neill, Stephen, is yourself and I sat in there singing "Come On Eileen" many, many years ago.
yeah,
wow.
and then you had me fretting the whole night because you told me that you'd volunteered me for the karaoke, and then you actually hadn't. So
But on the subject of O'Neill's and the shirt and football shirts, a nice tie is that I was out with you when you wore that football shirt in O'Neill's, of
Oh,
course.
for
So
the
the
infamous
the other lost final.
20/2021 Euros final. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that was yes, the penalty shootout final.
well, the question that we have to ask, of course, last season you got a yellow card, Matt, away to Chesham United. Discuss how did that happen?
Um, I, I think some context's needed. So obviously, yeah, it's not ideal. And as let's start at the beginning. So we lost 6 games in a row, and the club were on a streak, which actually ended up kind of getting worse. But at the time, we are on this streak that we didn't feel we could snap out of, but we thought that we were about to turn a corner. Um, and we're away at Chesham, who obviously won the league, fantastic season last year, deservedly so, went up as champions, and yeah, we gave them a really good game. I want to say we equalised, or 1-1, we equalised, and that was our first goal for like a ridiculous amount of hours as well. And yeah, 1-0, and you think, well, actually, this is a fair point. This would we'd leave Chesham. That's a great point. We can build on this. Um, and then I want to say probably five 5 minutes to go, maybe. Um, Referee gives Chesham an unbelievably soft penalty, in my opinion, and which they tuck away to go 2-1 up. And in credit to us, we responded well. We were looking for an equaliser. We got caught on the counter attack and we lost 3-1. And at full time, I think it really hurt everyone because I thought it was like an opportunity missed. And I think like the actual the mood, like and in the dressing room beforehand as well, there was it just felt like a massive game, and it ended up being Matt Tubbs's last game, which was a shame. I was a big fan of Tubbsy, and um yeah, I think the ref was walking off the pitch, and I just kind of wanted to have a quick chat with him about his thought process behind giving that penalty and my views on whether it was a penalty or not. And it was clear he didn't want to have that conversation with me, and he reached for his top pocket and took my name, and the rest is history. So yeah.
Was there is there like a punishment beyond Is it just a fine, or do you have to sit in the
I
stands? Or
think actually, I think it. I'm not sure it actually went through in the end. I think I haven't had the slap on the wrist. I let myself down because I did it literally. Our chairman was stood probably as close as Avril is to me, and I don't think he was best pleased. I apologised on the coach on the way home and said it was out of character, and assured him that this wouldn't be a regular occurrence because I think we pride ourselves on our discipline, and yeah, certainly bookings for dissent aren't encouraged. So yeah,
I'm sorry.
sorry, it was a bit like that. Sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry. But no. Yeah. So yeah, the fine never came through, I don't think, and or if it has, I've got a way about paying it. So yeah, happy days.
Todd, did you ever get any yellows or heaven
I
forbid
can
reds?
actually pride myself throughout my career. I very much went down the Gary Lineker route of never
Mm.
receiving a yellow card in my entire football career, which ended at the age of 25. Um, I came close twice. Once was for kicking the ball away. The ref threatened if I kicked the ball away again that I would be booked. I think I was about 16, 17 at the time and was very petrified of my first booking. So stayed on my best behaviour. And the second one was in a torrential downpour. I slipped as I went in for the ball and caught the player late. Um,
Mm.
and I tried to sort of be funny and play it off and tell the ref that I got there as quick as I could. And luckily, he was lenient with me and saw the funny side and said he saw that I'd slipped, but anything more like that, then I would be going in the book. But yeah, those two near misses in my career, but never a yellow brandished in my direction.
I feel like if you were ever to get a card, Todd, I feel like it would be for either over celebrating, taking the top off, or some absolute housery. I think those would be the circumstances, and I dare say if well, I watched you not that long ago actually, but yeah, I dare say if you made a comeback that I'd put my money on those circumstances.
When you do the Adebayor celebration.
I
Yeah.
I once scored against my dad. I put the ball through his legs and away from the pitch. I made sure he knew that it was me that scored past him for a good couple of weeks. To be fair,
Is that the Whedon derby that I've heard? I've heard the story from both of the Whedons, and there is a twist to the tale, isn't there? I think in
there
that
is,
week.
yeah. The game actually finished 1-1, and it was a 90th minute penalty, and my father stepped up and buried the ball from 12 yards into the bottom corner to equalise
As a goalkeeper as well.
as a
Which
goalkeeper. Yeah,
was he a regular penalty taker, or was he like, I'm having this because my son
no,
scored
no,
against
he
me?
he was the club's regular penalty taker. So
I love it. I love it. Unbelievable. Big love to Dougie. I love that. And did he get up there with the goals throughout the season? Was he like kind of like second top goal scorer, third top with all these pens or?
no, I think he had a couple, but yeah, I don't think he ever threatened the top of the scoring charts. But interestingly, whilst his sort of legendary status in goal across the Isle of Wight is intact, I believe he, like me, started off as a striker. So
Oh,
uh, I have seen clips in newspaper cuttings that he keeps very close to his heart of him scoring goals as a youngster from
oh,
outfield.
okay. That's interesting. You're the right side. You're a good height for a goalie, actually. So you not thought about getting some gloves and.
Well, I mean, since the incident with Steve on a five-a-side pitch,
Oh yeah,
required me to have wrist surgery. I don't think I'd be very good in goal anymore.
no, your weak wrists.
Apologies for that. Um,
Was
in
was
terms
it not exacerbated by a trip out to sing along to Westlife in a nightclub or something?
There may have been a Bongos Bingo
That,
related
yeah.
table fall that didn't help the recovery of the injury. Yes.
just going back to the yellow card that Matt picked up, I would have been able to witness it myself had I not left the game at half time. No, it's quite a
You're
bad. Go on.
yeah, that it's just quite an iconic trip to football. But I mean, you messaged me, I think, about 2 hours before kickoff, and you're having an afternoon tea on your own in Cheshire,
I was actually.
which I thought, this is wild.
I'd
kind of.
like to throw my two pence in here and say that I don't think Steve was all that fussed for the game itself. I think he's just got quite a penchant for motorway service stations. He likes to visit them and rate them, and I just think there was one nearby Chesham that he hadn't been to, and he used that as an excuse to take in the first half of the match.
I don't
Well,
know.
in fairness, isn't Beaconsfield close? And isn't that got the Weatherspoons in it? I believe there
It
is.
might be like I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
I want to say that was like one of the nearest services, and I think they're ground, which I've not been to actually. I couldn't make it last season, but I think they got relegated. They did get relegated, sadly, but can't go to Spoons. Yeah, as I understand it, basically, if you go to watch Beaconsfield as an away fan, you kind of just basically go to the services, go to Spoons, walk
yeah.
across the car park, and go to the game.
I do always see it in the football club advertised actually, but I've not been there. Beaconsfield Town FC. Um, but all I would say is leaving games early. Don't knock it until you've tried it. You know, it's an unpopular opinion, but if you want
Yes.
to beat the traffic, like when I was a kid, my dad going to Oxford United games, my dad was like 10 minutes before the end, we're leaving to beat the traffic, and I'd be pretty devastated because what if something happens at the end? But nice. But most of the
10,
time,
10 minutes is devastating, but 45 is not a problem.
the game was just that entertaining.
I
It was at the end.
Well, yeah,
yeah, I mean you could have had an opinion on that controversial penalty decision. Um,
true.
Sadly,
But don't you
and,
think that there's nothing better in life than cancelled plans and unscheduled free time?
no,
So
I do agree with you. And as you guys will one day be my age, that feels even more special when that happens. So yeah,
yeah, get a red card next time. Go home.
yeah, have a few Saturdays off.
No, I'm looking forward to leaving more games early this season.
Are you? I mean, I remember years ago I went to Ringwood Town and bought a program there, and they one of the features in their program was like what the um, Premier League table would have looked like had all the games finished at half time, and it was completely different.
Mm.
Or to Steve, that's the norm, I guess. So
Yeah.
yeah,
As far as I'm concerned, we drew the Euros final 0-0 with Spain.
yeah,
And
okay, yeah, yeah,
shared the trophy.
yeah. Well, I think that's like the Charity Shield.
Yeah.
Have and on just thinking about that Euros final, have you guys seen the I was going to say poor lad, but actually I don't feel sorry for him. He's a muppet. But somebody got a tattoo that said Euros 2024 winners.
I've
Yeah.
seen one that has been I think they've had the World Cup and the Euros for the last six tournaments tattooed on
Oh
them,
wow,
and every time
wow.
that England go out, they just have it crossed out. So
Well,
yeah,
this lad's leaving it on there in the hope that in 4 years' time they can change the four to an eight. So
Bit premature.
yeah, yeah. So we'll see. It depends if Todd wears that Greece shirt or not. So I think that's the common denominator. So
oh mate, this is going back into storage until I come out again for another special occasion.
Before we move on to the Euros final, just wanted to comment on Matt, your daughter's Grey's Anatomy TikTok, which has been filling stadiums.
unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, she's gone viral.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a kind of like a video tribute to an actress called Kate Walsh, who plays a Dr. Addison, who's like one of her favorite characters, and yeah, she's done this little video tribute to her, and people have gone mental for it, absolutely mental for it.
What's it up
So
to
I
now?
think I think the latest was 24,500, and the closest stadium I could compare that to is the Majeski Stadium. So if you remember rightly, I think when you came to visit a couple of weeks ago, we were at, I think maybe on the Friday night when we were at Todd's watching the first round of quarterfinals. It was Dean Court, and then I think by the time you were at my house, it was the Liberty Stadium in
Mhm.
Swansea. And then it crept up to Vicarage Road, and it stayed at Vicarage Road for a little while actually. I think yeah, kind of it peaked at Watford, and yeah, it then kind of went north to Turf Moor, viewing figures, and now we're back down south, and your I guess your hated rivals wearing that shirt, Reading.
Swindon. Oh, okay.
I thought Oxford and Reading have a bit of beef,
Yeah,
didn't
Swindon's
they?
more so, but yeah, there's
Yeah,
still
more
no
so.
love
Yeah.
lost.
Okay. So
But I did enjoy when we were watching the England semis at yours, and you were kind of updating with every 1,000 that the views on the TikTok were increasing by. You were sort of
well, it was,
telling
yeah. I
a
mean, I think one that sums up how bad some of the games were that I was more interested in TikTok, which I don't tend to go on. And yeah, and yeah, no, it was almost like in front of our eyes. It was going berserk. So there we go. Um, that is. So maybe she's got a future as an influencer. Who knows? Um,
seemed
I'm
very
pretending I know what
unfazed.
that word means, but yeah.
She seemed very unfazed by it, but
No, she took it all in her stride, and yeah, I will see what else she has planned for the follow up. I guess that's the big one, isn't it? It's the difficult second TikTok to to follow that up.
yeah, exactly. You have all your life to make the first one, don't you? And then
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah.
all right. Well, moving on to the Euros final. Football did not come home for us in England. I was thinking though, can you really blame it? I mean, if you had been since 1966 away to Brazil, Argentina, Spain, warmer climates, and you'd look back at the rain in the summer in England, would you come home?
I think, I mean, there's an argument for it to be said that the Euros was very British, and the fact that it went off to retire in Spain at the end of its run.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. I'd even argue that football did go home because the best footballing side won the Euros for me. So therefore, if we're looking at it from that angle, and I think that's as much as there was disappointment on Sunday. I actually felt like it was, and I don't want to. I think Lineker said something similar. And I promise you, I'm not copy and pasting Lineker, but I do feel like it was a bit of a win for football. If I'm being brutally honest, as much as that's probably an unpopular opinion, I think the best team won, and you can't really have any complaints. And yeah, and actually, I really enjoyed watching Spain. I think the whole, but especially the final, just like yeah, just how difficult they made things for England. The high press and just yeah, just a magnificent side. So no complaints.
Well, I would absolutely agree with that, and I am gonna rip off something I heard elsewhere, but I'm not going to credit the journalist because I, for the life of me, can't remember who it was. So apologies to them if they ever end up listening to this. But there was an argument made for the fact that I'm not sure England fans are ready for it to come home because the whole 60 years has been built around it could come back, it could come back. If it comes home, what do England fans have to look forward to from that point? And I
That's
think
fair.
they are sort of not champions of misery, but we build our hopes every time on the fact that it's coming home. But you know, once it's home, what have you got to look forward to?
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah. So yeah. So basically, the flame still burns. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
do when it does come home? Make a cup of tea or
I
Yeah.
mean, I would go and hide in misery because I would never hear the end of it in the group chat. And
well,
yeah,
No, indeed. I think yeah. Absolutely. I think yeah. A couple of boys who were probably more devastated than myself and Steve. Is that fair to say, Steve? Um,
yeah. I
I
mean, I
think
expected us to lose, so it didn't. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But I can't remember the point I
it's
was trying to make. But yeah, basically, I think I said on the night or the day after, it's like, look, I've kind of lived this kind of hope that kills you since a penalty shootout in 1990 against West Germany. I won't claim the '86 World Cup. I remember it being on, but I remember the Maradona incident, but I wasn't sitting down religiously. But 1990 was the tournament that made me fall in love with football and sticker albums a lot, and yeah, just like lived and breathed every game, and then the heartbreak of losing that penalty shootout, and as a 12, 13-year-old lad, then it's like, oh well, and then you think, blimey, nothing's changed.
Mm.
I'm used to it. I'm good with it. Yeah, but I get how much it must sting for some of the lads that aren't here tonight.
I think it's a shame really because I do think England probably played some of their better football in the semi-final and the final actually, and
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
kind of came through the group stages and we spoke about in the previous episode, and they were kind of a bit and they relied on magic moments such as the Bellingham overhead
Mm,
kick, um,
mm,
and actually it was very dull football, whereas actually they put together some really progressive um, periods of play in the semi-final and the final. And
Yeah.
actually, I did think when they went on and got the equaliser against Spain, I thought they've got them against the ropes here. But in
You,
almost typical England fashion, they just sat back again
yeah.
and
You
invited pressure. And I think
got
that's
that
what
Southgate was manager, and he was like, right, we've equalised. Let's not get carried away here, boys.
I think it was Euro 2004 when I remember crying with Portugal knocking us out on
Was
the
that Carvalho and Rooney and the wink with
yeah,
Ronaldo? Was that?
believe
Yes.
so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, Gareth will be watching the next tournament from home. In terms of
Yeah.
the
Well.
manager, like in a perfect world for me, it'd be Jurgen Klopp, but he's definitely not going to go back on his word, and he
I,
won't want the stress of England, will he?
I'm sorry. I think England fans are delusional if they think they're going to get Jurgen Klopp. I've said it in the group chat, and I'll say it again. I don't think. I think if he takes any national manager's job, he will take the Germany job after the 2026 World Cup when Nagelsmann event. I would claim steps down to go back into club football because that's what he said he wanted to do throughout his career anyway. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
they've been Klopp and the DFB have been flirting with each other for many years, and I just think that job is ready made for him. And unfortunately, I think as much as England fans are going to moan whoever they get in. It's what they do, but I think
Yeah. Also, is it not that? Am I right in saying that Klopp's kind of ended things at Liverpool, or ended things at Liverpool because probably suffering a bit of burnout, really. Like,
it's a
and
break.
why would you want to go into pretty much, like I know all managerial jobs are high pressure, but I don't think there's one quite like, the expectation that's on you as England manager. So why you'd want to go from a job where, it's been intense and you need a break to, oh yeah, I'll go and I'll go run the England team. It doesn't work for
Yeah,
me.
he's
Yeah.
living his best life going to Taylor Swift. Like he doesn't need the headaches of being an England manager.
No, no.
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, the bookies have made them favourites as well. I think Graham Potter, um,
Mm.
or Lee Carsley for me. I think Eddie Howe would be the best choice. I don't think they'll get him out of Newcastle. Um, Lee Carsley is very much a Gareth Southgate sort of made replacement in the fact that he's come up from the under 21s, and it does make sense. But I can't claim to have watched enough of the under 21s
No,
for.
yeah, no, I don't know. I remember him as a player.
Yep.
He was kind of just, kind of a kind of a solid Premier League player, not, kind of, yeah, a 7 out of 10 player. But I don't know much about his managerial career. But probably very much in the same mold as Southgate, as you say. So, um, what I think I was going to say was that, with regards to the whole England thing. I heard a rumor, and I don't know how much truth's in it, and it's a shame Dan's not here because obviously he has his finger on the pulse of his journalism day job. But I heard someone say that Carsley for 12 months, um, until Pep steps down at Manchester City. Now, what do we think about
That'd be going from you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Like the upgrade on
that?
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Very
mean,
cool.
I would worry about England under Pep. I think he obviously has that magic touch when it comes to teams, and I think he could really get that group together and turn them into a world beating team.
okay, okay.
I
So you
I
worry
do
about it from a positive point of view, then?
yeah. But
Yeah,
I do
very
also
good.
think that international management is very different to club management, and I think Pep very much likes to have his hands on the pulse of everything. I can't see him storming onto a pitch after a game where he's England manager, going to watch Aston Villa versus Arsenal or something, and trying to tell one of the Arsenal players what he's done right or wrong in that
Yeah,
match. I worry that how much he'd struggle only having them for 2 3 week periods at a time, and what he'd be
yeah.
able to
And I think
apply.
this is the same with Eddie as well. Eddie Howe, I think, like, from my time at Bournemouth, and what I heard about him there, was that he just lives and breathes every club he's at. Some of the decisions he was making, down to the colour of the clothing, like the under 18s and the under 21s teams or whatever wore, and he just wants to be involved in everything, and he wouldn't get that in England, and I don't think he'd, you know, perhaps respond as well to that. Kind of not having that kind of every day going into your desk, kind of whatever it is. I don't know what England managers do in between international friendlies, to be honest with you. And
It's
talking, sorry,
watch matches.
watch matches. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that would work out. And nothing, unless you guys prove me wrong, like the whole football manager thing where you do both jobs, like it doesn't seem to be a thing in the real world, does it? But it'd be pretty cool, I think, if that did happen. Um, but I
There's
don't.
I mean he's very obsessive, but that does seem like a lot to to
Yes,
manage
no,
a Premier
indeed,
League club
indeed.
and the country.
No, indeed, indeed. I'd like to see it though. I'd like to see if like people can do both jobs as people do in Football Manager, as I did with Rushton and Diamonds in England,
Well, there we
years ago.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, in a word for me, Graham Potter, I think will be the next England manager. I think it'll be
Mm,
underwhelming for fans, but actually, I think it'd be a really positive step forward for England.
okay,
Well,
okay.
the good news is that Jenna won the sweepstake with Spain, so we're gonna have to find a Spanish restaurant to head off to and celebrate.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. So you're going to do the opposite of what the fans were singing about what to do with your tapas. Um,
exactly, we'll be sticking it down our mouths.
Excellent. And have you earmarked anywhere in and around the Hertfordshire area?
Yeah, I think there was somewhere more closer to London, but there's not. I mean, where we live in St Albans, not really anywhere. So we're gonna have to go a bit
Okay.
further afield. We did just go to Spain and enjoy that. But yeah, no, thank you for the funds for the winnings, Todd, sending those over.
Well, I mean, well done on winning it. I say through gritted teeth. Obviously, knowing between you and your partner, you ended up with England, France, and Spain. So it was it's kind of written in the stars from the start. But no,
Yeah.
well done on winning the sweepstake, and I look
Yeah.
forward to trying to reclaim some glory over you in the World Cup in 2 years' time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
well in the work sweepstake, I had Scotland, so I did deserve a little bit of luck. But
Wow. Yeah,
you
That's
know
that's
the real winner of the Euros. Please sing along if you know the words at home. But you're looking good. You're looking sharp. You've come so far, and you know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, doing what you've always done. All together now. Gillette, the best a man can get.
yeah. I wonder whether.
Paul Brennan would be disgusted at you right now.
Wow.
No better way
Yeah.
to end this episode, I think.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Tom Brennan.
Matt's lost for
Uh,
words.
yeah. At first, I thought like, is he singing the song that won the Eurovision Song Contest? Is that the angle? But no, it was actually the Gillette song.
Um, Thank you for listening to another episode of the Unused Substitutes podcast. Todd, did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, mate, I had a blast as always.
And we'll hopefully join you again, maybe in a couple of weeks. I think the first one was a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? So maybe we should.
Yeah, I presume we're going to pick it up a bit more once the Premier League season is up and running. But it's kind of life without football for a couple of weeks now, which is confusing.
Exactly. And as we record the outro, Matt has gone to take the socks off the washing line for the pool town. Uh, the life of a kit man never stops.
His dedication.
Exactly. So there we go. Thanks for listening. See you next time. He's locked up the insolvency shed for the night.
Oh, brilliant. That's fair enough.
I'm going to, well, me and Jenna are going to Brighton on Friday. So we'll see Dan and Fran
Oh, mate, that'd
and
be nice.
Tobeans.
I am off to Bath,
Oh,
Bristol. I'm off to Bristol for a stag do
oh,
on
nice.
Friday. So yeah, it should be good fun.
Have you ever been to Lincoln before? Out of interest.
I haven't, no. Any
You,
reason or
you don't want to go, do you? On Saturday, the 3rd of August.
uh I can't.
It's quite a long way.
I'm at a gin and rum festival with Amy, Matt,
Ah,
and Stacey.
nice.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
we've got a friend academy friendly there. So I'm probably going to go there and stay over till the Sunday and have a little explore,
fair enough.
Never been before, so
Oh mate, well let me know what you think of it.
yeah, it looks quite nice.
Potential holiday destination.
It's further up north than I realised, but
Yeah, mate, it's quite far up.
kind of an hour from the beach and stuff. So I don't know if I'd be bothered to do that, but anyway.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll catch up soon, no doubt. Anyway, but yeah, let me know how the weekend goes. And
Yeah, cheers for that.
all right, mate.
I'll
No worries.
love you and leave you.
So yeah, have a good one, and we'll catch up soon.
All right. See you in a
Sweet.
bit.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.